My name, Jalen McElroy. I'm 24. From Chicago. I've been dealing with alopecia since I was 13, down there like 11, 13. So about 10 plus years. I've been having alopecia for 10 plus years. Yeah, for sure.
How was it like at that young age experiencing it?
Uh, I'd say it was a difficult transition because like you go from seeing yourself looking one way, like you got hair. Some people be like, "You was born like that." Nah, like I wasn't born like this. It's like at first, it was a point in time where I did have hair, so it was like going through that transition and at a young age, it was confusing to me because I'm like, "What's going on?"
Mm-hmm.
But like, it feel like you like I don't know, like you changing, you changing realities because it's like you got to get used to the new version of you versus like how you used to look a little bit. So it's like it's
It's like an
definitely
identity crisis type.
yeah, like you gotta get used to your identity, but it's like you remember like how you really used to look.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was the big thing was really just getting used to my new identity and having to deal with going to a new school with a bunch of new people who never seen me before and having to like carry that and deal with whatever came with it. Just
Everybody, the new person always get attention, but then again, you either walk around like we what 14, we balled at 14. They like, what's going on? Like,
as I'm
what's
saying,
that? And then on top of that, you knew, so it's like you about to get all the attention, you know. So
yeah.
I definitely can relate to that, bro, for real. When did you first start noticing the signs of alopecia?
Uh,
What did it look like? Was it like patchy or like?
yeah, it started off with a patch on the side of my. I went to my pediatrician, and they tried to say it was something else. They tried to diagnose me with something else, but then I started losing more hair, so it started becoming more patchy. Then she recommended me I go to like a hair specialist, hair dermatologist or whatever, and there that's when they basically diagnosed me and told me I had alopecia.
So what your peoples think?
So first time when I told my pops, I told my when I showed my pops, I'm like, "Pops, I got a patch on the side of my head." I ain't gonna lie, first reaction of my dad, he was like, "What the like?" Then he took me to my granddad because my granddad used to cut my hair, but he was like young at the time, so like he used to cut my hair. He had asked him like, "Did you pops? Did you do something to his head with your clippers or something?" My granddad, nah, I ain't do that. Then instantly showed my mama. My mama looked at it. She like, yeah, that look a little weird. So
Mm-hmm.
then from there, instantly, that's when they scheduled an appointment and got me seen. But yeah, it started off with patches and to keep. It was like I knew my hair was falling out, but it was like I kept my eyebrows for a long time, so it was like for me to keep my eyebrows, I had to keep going to like this doctor specialist and get shots in my eyebrows. I ain't gonna lie. That was like one of the
Yeah.
most embarrassing things, folks, because I really didn't want to tell nobody. Like I used to leave school on my doctor appointment days, and I would leave school and I just basically stay home for the day because like you could still see the red marks across
Yeah.
my eyebrows, like, and it's not just one shot, like they
Yeah.
injecting all across.
Like, how has alopecia shaped you? You know, or that's how you see yourself as a man. And I'm pretty sure you already kind of touched on that. Like, you just had to accept what was going on and just build that backbone and like just
I feel like it low key make you more of a man because it's like it teach you early on how to deal with your emotions and not let your emotions affect your reality. You gonna get tested in life, and you can't necessarily always react off your emotions. So it's and growing up, like especially early on with that, people gonna try to trigger you left and right. People gonna try. You can't let that affect your reality by like you crashing out on them because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, for you gonna be trying to fight the whole world because it's like you got to get that tough skin in general. For like we leaders, bro, we encouraging people to embrace themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we really like we like spiritual blessings. I ain't gonna lie, like we
Yeah.
signs, bro. Like God put us here to show people, you could get through whatever, get through whatever in life. You gonna have hardships, but as long as you just stay confident, you just gotta just be yourself, bro. Like you gonna get through
Absolutely.
whatever it is you going through. Just
So,
gotta keep faith.
could you see yourself like talking to the youth at like panels or like events and stuff like that, just guiding them and helping them find some type of peace in what they're going through?
I definitely feel like I could talk to the youth, just like how I said, spiritual direction. I feel like we do a lot of, definitely, we do good life direction, as far as like, yeah, y'all gotta stay in school, all this. But like me, I'll come on some like spiritual type of directions, like how to just be, how to let, like, be you, remain yourself, stay true to yourself. The older I got, I started to realize how important mental health was. Obviously, early on, like I probably didn't know too much about it. So it's like, probably the kids probably hearing me speak on that. They probably like, what's this old head talk about? But the older they gonna get, it's gonna,
Yeah, yeah.
they
No,
gonna be
I
like,
know. I
oh,
remember what you was
now I'm
talking about.
starting to understand. I'm starting to understand what he was saying. That's my purpose for sure.
For sure. Okay.
Like, to
Cool.
help people grow spiritually. I feel like,
Mental health, right? I know you
yeah.
say you try to stay like true to yourself and you try to, you know, just be you. But what helps you stay grounded when you're having a rough day or like you having those bad mental days? You know what I mean? Like,
The biggest thing for me is definitely um being able to self isolate, um, get close to my thoughts and
mm,
my family, be around my family. For sure, like, I got a little brother and sister. They kind of bring me life, and my mama. So it's like they kind of bring me life when I feel like times is low. I ain't gonna lie.
mm,
So that kind of helped me keep myself grounded, and I have a purpose, and I know, like, I always just try to tell myself it's always gonna be light at the end of the tunnel. Like, sometimes God put you through the, like literally, I believe when they say God give his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. I feel like that's cliche to say, but like I definitely feel
facts.
like I definitely feel like sometimes you gonna go through like some of the hardest stuff in life to come out, and you gonna be an example of, like, of what it is, or what it looked like when you don't give up.
Mm,
I really went through that. I really went through the hardest times too, and I still made it out there. So if I could do it, you can too. I feel like God make examples out of everybody in good and positive and negative ways. You gotta read the signs of life.
right.
Family,
Like
God, my purpose.
isolation. You went through like a stage where like you was like wearing hats a lot.
Definitely. It's really almost been like that almost my whole life, but it got to a point where, it's like I didn't really always feel like I had to wear, like, I was wearing hats in the most unreasonable settings. To
Mm,
the point where I would feel like I looked good. Like, I was doing this, getting so used to it, it felt like I wouldn't look good unless I had the cap on. So I had to get off that type of shit and start, I had to start loving myself without the cap. But at
yeah.
the same time, no, that's just like an add on. Like, that's
Yeah,
just an
it's
add on.
accessory type.
Yeah, you feel
Yeah,
me?
cause there ain't nothing to take it off. Feel me?
That's
Like
what I'm saying.
when it don't become a need no more, you like ah shit, it's cool.
Like, now, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm a rock out. However, I don't care.
Mm,
Cause I ain't gonna lie. I know biggest thing of it is for sure. Like, what I would want people to know is, yeah, it's not cancer. It's not contagious. Um, and it's not by choice. And the best thing you could do is not let your emotions affect your reality. So if you feel like you feel like somebody, then got you angry, you just don't try to react off what they projecting. That's just sometimes motherfuckers talk about you, and like I said, like, they'll probably be ignorant, and they'll probably be going through something themselves. So don't step down to somebody else spiritual level, to like just entertain bullshit. Cause sometimes that'll bring you down to a lower frequency. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just say, keep your energy high. Don't let nobody outside in the world affect your, you know, change your happiness. That's the biggest thing for sure.
Yeah,
I appreciate the call, bro.
for
Stay up,
sure.
man.
Yeah, you too, bro.
Stitchy J checking out.